So my name is Omar Rampasad. It's 8:14 p.m., July 19, 2019. So I posted a bunch of tweets. I just went to the grocery store and to the library. And as I talked in my other videos, I am being trafficked in this building. And the people in the building, the residents, workers, cleaners, and so on, are all taking part in the harassment that leads up to flagging, that leads up to the trafficking. Um, I just described in my tweets about someone in the building who is tracking. Actually, there are more than one people tracking. There are neighbors who are doing it. There is workers and the family of the workers who's been doing it for years. Only now it's so openly done that the worker's family passed. Well, actually, sorry, not passed. I was coming into the gate, and I tweeted this with the picture. I was like 15 feet away from the gate, and I could hear this shouting. And I recognized the worker's wife's voice. She um, she comes out in the loading dock sometimes, and she says things. So I recognize her voice. So I stayed back knowing that, there is a case going on and I don't want to have any contact with them. So I just stopped and she and her son, the youngest son, and there were two girls with them. And I recognized the older girl as the one who was moving into the building through the side door. And there was a U-Haul van in the park in the loading dock Sunday evening at 9 o'clock when it was supposed to be completely closed. And they were moving heavy furniture through the side door up the stairs. And this woman was with the building superintendent's family. So that side door should not have been open, but it was. And I heard that they were asked to stop moving items through the side door, and they continued. And I guess the cops should have been called, but they weren't. I'm not sure why that is. So, anyways, these two girls are showing up with this family, and the girls, they obviously, when they pass me, and they didn't today pass me, but when they're going in the opposite direction and they pass me, they will literally stare at me and as if I was a Martian. And you could see the son telling the girls things about me because they would be looking at me so directly as he was talking. So he was filling them in on whatever it is he was talking about me. Um, so and then the girls started showing up around me alone as well. So this is encouraged harassment. This family is encouraging other people to harass me and to stalk me or helping them track me because they are tracking me. This family is tracking me and harassing me and terrorizing me and has been doing the same thing for years, which is why there's a court proceedings right now. Which is why there is a court proceedings right now. So um, uh, we'll see how that goes. So um, this harassment, of course, causes stress, obviously. And the way that I deal with stress is venting inside of my home. I don't vent in public, obviously. Um, uh, uh, it's just not done. So what I say inside of my home is my business. However, I am being recorded. Cops are being called based on what's being said and done inside of my home. I'm being recorded inside of my home. I'm being trafficked. I just heard a conversation outside the window um, with the worker talking to the person who stepped out of the unit with his daughter and passed my door as I was coming in. Exact timing, perfect timing. And he said something about it's a baby or something like that. And then he said outside, the dog is sleeping, just loudly out of the blues. That didn't fit in any conversation that I could hear. So I looked out to see who was saying these strange remarks, and of course, the worker was there talking to them, as he talks with everybody's in the loading dock for a long time. Um, I had the human rights case going on, and there was relative peace while the decision was being made. And once the decision was made, the exact thing that was happening before started all over again, only in an escalated way. It's escalating. So there is retaliation. There is obvious open retaliation, and there is a lynching program, obvious lynching program in the area. Now, obviously, no one is in real danger, any danger, I should say, of me. I don't carry weapons. Um, if somebody harasses me and they really cross the line, I will tell them to stop, and I will be firm about it. If they swear at me, then I'll be very firm about it. And sometimes they do swear at me. They call me effing whore, all kinds of nasty, really nasty names, and make nasty remarks that will inflame your anger. And you have a right to defend yourself, and I do. If they call the cops, then and lie, this is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to instigate situations. This is part of the program. This is part of the targeting program. So the worker outside the window, just to get back to that topic for a little bit, he talks about this. He talks about the case. He talks about the ongoing targeting that led up to the case. And because the case, well, I'm not going to go into details because it's still going on. There was a decision, and because of that, there's the harassment has escalated, openly trying to get me out of the building. Now, what I'm trying to do really is to stop the criminal activity in the building. So obviously, the people who are affiliated with the criminal activity will not want that to happen. So, there is a whole lot of harassment going on outside the window, especially. This one family is really, really escalated their harassment. Not only tracking me and harassing me on by themselves, but um, encouraging others to do it by spreading rumors about me, by constantly talking about why they want to get me out of the building, about what the family said about me, about information they gathered about me from the workplace. And they're constantly calling these names of the informants who had accounts about me in workplaces or wherever. Names like Badr Nizar, and he said this and he did this. And the worker outside, as I was starting to say, outside today, was talking to this Indian guy who made some remarks about being a baby outside my door as he was walking out. Um, he was talking about tonight, subliminally. We'll do it subliminally. Now, there were other conversations outside the window about subliminal customizing. So this man is what I'm suspecting is going on is he is finding clients to sell a link and a password to look at me inside of my home and to gerbil and to customize remotely. A subliminally means and this is what I'm gathering from other information, from other conversation as well, and information I researched. They are using frequencies that's piggybacking on existing frequencies in the area, and these frequencies can actually form words when it's picked up by your brain. Basically, this is like a radio transmission. This is not like voice hearing voices in your head because he is talking about it. So I'm not hearing voices in my head, obviously, but he is talking about a form of covert messaging where you're piggybacking frequencies onto existing frequencies in the environment. And these frequencies will form words when it's picked up by your spinal column, by your brain, subliminally. It's a new technology. I did a bit of research. It's not hearing voices in your head. This is like a transmission, a radio transmission. So he is openly talking about new technologies being used to harass targets in the building. I'm sure there's more than one target in the building because this trafficking and this remote sort of customization, the setup, the technology used is pretty it can get pretty expensive. So there's probably more than one person being affected this way in this building. Now, because he is talking about it, it's a good guess that he is doing it or he is part of the team that is doing it, or else he wouldn't know about the technology. I wouldn't know about the technology because I wouldn't. There would be no way that I'd even dream of these sort of harassment, this type of harassment, unless I hear it outside my window. This is the way I am getting the information. This is the reason I do the research. This is where I get the topics to do the research. The conversations that's being held outside the window by the worker and his team, who I'm suspecting is remote trafficking.